Checking my connection. I hope you're well. So I am having a bit of time out, and I thought I would come live and just really encourage some of you who may need to hear a word. You might have seen my post today, and I shared this post because I know that on the latest post anyway, a lot of you are feeling a bit deflated. The way in which the economy is right now, good morning, has left quite a few of you feeling very unenthusiastic. But I do want to encourage you this morning that if you know that your products and services are good and there's a need for your product or service, and you know that there are people who would have bought your products and services if there wasn't this situation in the economy, you should continue as you are. Don't start panicking about repricing or charging cheaper or hiding away or being unavailable. Don't start thinking about things that, are going to happen, worst case scenario. Think about solutions, because a lot of us are thinking the worst. And I totally agree that, in terms of where we are right now anyway, things are a little bit bleak, let's be honest. But we have to make the best of a situation. I'm not even going to call it a bad situation, right? Yes, there's still opportunity, right? We have to make the best of the situation. So those products that you've got sitting under your desk or sitting in your cupboard, that service that you wanted to launch, still launch it. Still promote those products, because if you know who your audience are, you can still reach them and they will still buy. If you've created a service or a product that you know that people actually need, that you can qualify people actually need, there's no need for you to be putting a dampener on your business and speaking negativity into your business. We don't need to be talking about business closure. We don't need to be talking about, there's no customers, no one's going to buy my products. Because quite frankly, if you do your marketing right and you know how to reach and attract the right customers, they will buy. People are still booking holidays. People are still buying hair. People are still buying bespoke garments. People are still paying for business coaching. So it doesn't matter what field you are in. I'm here to tell you now, do not give up, because your business idea that you have and the vision that you have for your business is still viable. Just because the media and society are telling you that gas has gone up and ingredients are more expensive and equipment's more expensive and suppliers are no longer importing and all that, it doesn't mean your business can't function. It just means you may need to look at ulterior ways of doing business and generating income into your bottom line, right? So we have to work smarter. We have to work smarter. If you're used to doing events externally in posh buildings, maybe you want to do posh events online. There's a way around it. If you're used to doing face-to-face consultations, maybe you want to charge a little bit less or even keep your price the same and bring those consultations online with a workbook or something. But you have to make it work. You have to be able to work smarter. Yeah? And there are many ways. I'm just going to close up by saying there are many ways that we can monetize our brands. There are many ways that we can bring money into our business. And I'm not talking about rental of property. I'm not talking about, selling digital Canva templates and stuff like that. But you can monetize your expertise. Okay, good morning, how you doing? You can monetize your expertise. Let me know in the comments if you're watching now and you are aware that you have some expertise in something, whether it's skincare, whether it's beauty, whether it's health, whether it's well-being, whether it's how you can decorate a party, whether it's styling. All of us have unique abilities. And those are things that you can monetize. You probably have expertise that you haven't even thought about packaging yet. But those are things you can monetize. You can also sell your time. You can also sell time with you for people to pick your brains. You know that free time some of you have been giving out, that 40-minute consultation into discovery call for free? It's time to monetize that. Yeah? And we no longer need to be telling ourselves that people can't afford it, because I'm telling you now, I don't know how many of you are aware of this, there are designer labels, there are even gurus out here that sell the most weirdest of things, and people are buying it and they're paying ridiculous prices for it. I think I saw some shoelace earrings. I don't know if it was by Balenciaga or some kind of designer, and they're like £160, even more than that, I think. Shoelace earrings. Literally a lace tied into a bow that you put in your ears hole as earrings. And people are still buying that. And it's not even about the elite and people that can afford and the affluent. If people see a need for that shoelace earring, if people see a need for that item, they're going to buy it, because the way that it's packaged, the way it's positioned, the way that it's sold online, the language that's used, the way it makes you feel when you wear it is what people are actually buying. So we need to get smarter about how we are packaging and promoting our brands. And I think I saw a statistic where there were 81% of women in particular who during the pandemic were thinking about ways in which they could actually start new businesses, okay? And a lot of those 81% of women, I don't know where the stat came from, I'll try and put it in my stories, but a lot of those women haven't even navigated the business route properly, because they've started with their logo and then they just started blasting on social media. You have to get things in the right order. So if you know there's a need, or you've established a need, or you've qualified via research or something you've seen, or maybe a previous product that you've sold that there was a need, you now need to package that need. You now need to be able to present that need using online and offline marketing tactics, not just social media. And when I say offline, I'm not talking about printing big batches of leaflets and just distributing them willy-nilly. I'm talking about having a clear strategy, having tactics that will actually, when implemented, get you results. Because what I'm seeing a lot, and this is why I think a lot of you are giving up, you're relying only on social media. What I'm seeing a lot is that those of you that are relying only on social media and not looking elsewhere are literally just blasting out posts without giving much thought to the content, the language, your audience, the offers, selling online. And therefore the sales aren't coming in, and some of you are getting frustrated, and that's why you're allowing these negative thoughts to come in your head. Get the right frameworks in your business, sort out the systems and processes that you need, and think about how you're going to position your brand and market yourself to anyone who is in your identified target audience. Because the missed trick, yeah, brilliant, you just finished your masters in marketing and you love this, thank you. The missed trick, the missed opportunity that a lot of us have is we are limiting ourselves to social media. We're telling ourselves that Instagram and TikTok and the reels and the pointy and the dancey and the lip syncing is what's going to make us millions. Some of you are striving for six-figure businesses, which is great. But you don't even have the fundamentals of your brand, your vision, your values, your personality, your assets, and all of that good stuff set up. You don't even have a positioning statement or a brand promise. And these are things you do need. Unfortunately, you can't just dance around those things. Without those things, your business can still function, but you will not yield the results you deserve. You feel me? So without doing what I call the foundation work, you'll still get some results, but they definitely will not be the results that you are looking for. I can guarantee you that. So let's just think a bit smarter when we're going into the next few months, because let's face it, 2023 is literally weeks away now. Yeah? You have to understand that for your business to grow, you need to have certain things in your business. You need to have a way to collect data. You need to have a way to monitor your service once you've sold a product or service. You need to have a way to measure satisfaction or look at your statistics. You need to have a way to generate leads and acquire a list of people that might be interested in your brand. You need to have a way to actually promote, which would be a tactical plan in my opinion. And there are many other things as well. Someone's asked, what's a brand promise? A brand promise is basically a statement that you make to a potential client or a potential prospect, where you're saying to them, this is what your brand will deliver. Yeah. So for example, if I think of a pizza company, when Domino's Pizzas first started, I think it was Domino's, they said they deliver within a certain amount of time when you get your money back. That's a brand promise. Yeah. So with me, my brand promise is straightforward solutions for your business, because at no time at all will I ever come with any jargon and information that you can't understand. And when I do say something you can't understand, I always make it straightforward. If you ask the question, if you need clarity, I'll always break it down. Yesterday, I delivered a training to a company that I am paid to train for. I delivered a training to their community on Facebook. And at the end of that training, because of how I delivered the training, so straightforward, and the time I poured into everybody that was watching individually, even though it was a group training, you'll be familiar with my style. I like to be able to specify answers and give case studies and give examples relevant to those on the call, on the training, on the course, on the program with me. When I finished that training, they actually applauded me. Several ladies took the time on the Zoom to call me out and thank me for the way in which that training was delivered. So my brand promise is that it's straightforward solutions for business owners. I don't add the fluff, I don't add the airy fairy talk, and I don't do textbook marketing. So some of you may not have heard of brand promise because the brand gurus that you may be listening to, or even teachers that you may be leaning into, may not talk about those things, because they'll just tell you about the avatar you need to create. I hate that idea. They'll also tell you about your vision and your values, but they won't go deep. They won't go deep. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're watching this now and you have a business, do not give up, but make sure you've got the right things set up for your business. You need the systems and the processes to collect leads and generate information and collect data. You need a way to communicate away from social media. I'm talking about email marketing. I'm talking about loyalty cards. I'm talking about word of mouth, referrals, giveaways. I'm talking about press. I'm talking about events that you can host online and offline. There's a whole list of things I could talk about. Not now though. But there are things we need to be exploring beyond social media. So if you are only using social media and you have not yet seen your results, if you are only using social media and you are not seeing any sales, if you are only seeing social media and the inquiries are coming in, but then you don't know what to do with the inquiry, or the likes and comments are coming in, but you don't really understand how to convert those likes and comments, what are we going to do about that? Because as we get to the end of the year and we roll into 2023, if you're giving up now and you haven't even thought about, okay, how can I turn this around? How can I actually get better results? What do I need to do to make sure that I turn this around? Then we've got a problem, because you're not going to be able to change anything now unless you actually think about what is it that needs changing? Where can I make improvements? What are the drastic changes that I need to make? Good morning, how you doing? What are the drastic changes that I need to make? What areas of my marketing need to be improved? How am I engaging with people when they come to my page? Am I sending DMs? Am I asking people to DM me? Am I going out to people via telephone? Am I responding to calls in a timely manner? Or are people getting an automated out of office? Or are they getting a message that tells them that I'll respond to them soon? You know, all these things are relevant to if you're going to give up or not. And I'm here to say, if you're thinking about giving up, before you give up, make sure you've actually looked at and reviewed what you're doing, because a lot of you are giving up and you haven't even put in the work. I'm going to keep it real with you. To build a brand and to build a marketing plan that works, you have to have the foundation. And many of you are skipping that part because you're listening to the gurus who, quite frankly, if you ask them for case studies, probably couldn't even show you that many of what they've done, what they've developed, who they've worked with. Ask the questions, because you're leaning into the wrong people, a lot of you. And unfortunately, you're missing big opportunities to actually make something of your brand. And then you're saying, oh, it doesn't work. Marketing doesn't work. Marketing's exhausting. Marketing takes lots of time. Marketing isn't working for me. But what are you doing when it comes to email marketing? When someone comes to you on social media and they say, boom, I am ready. I'm interested. How much is this? Can I book a call? What are you doing with them away from social media? When someone has a call with you, or they book in a free complimentary call that you might be offering, what process have you got beyond that call to lean into that person and continue relationships with them, so that even if they're not ready at that time, they can then decide later on, and for some people that could be years or even months from when you speak to them, that they're ready? What have you got in place to monitor, to stay in check, to nurture relationships? Because that's what marketing is about, right? Hey, how you doing? I hope you're well. That's what marketing is about. Marketing effectively is about understanding your audience, the resources you've got available, and having processes and strategies in place to make sure that you can actually deliver and then keep track of what you're doing. It's not just about having enough product to ship out to your customers. It's not just about having slots in your diary to book people in. It's not just about churning out lots of new content either. It's about understanding who's actually in your list. It's about understanding the people that you are trying to attract. It's about qualifying as well what people need, so that when you make offers, they want what you have. And sometimes the reason why the sales aren't coming in is because the price is too high to the people that are in your list, or because the price is too low to the people that are in your list. Sometimes the reason why the sales aren't coming in is because we are not even selling. We're not even putting ourselves out there making offers. You feel me? So before you give up, I just want to say to you, if you're watching this now, if you haven't done what you know might be the bare minimum, if you haven't sorted out a lead magnet or some kind of way of collecting data, of engaging with new inquiries, of documenting what's going on in your community. If people contact you, how have they heard about you? If someone refers you, how do you thank them? If someone places an order, what does your fulfillment look like? Even if it's done online, what does your fulfillment look like for an order? What do they get? How do you monitor if something's been done well, or if something needs to change, or if something needs to be improved? Because a lot of us are just missing lots of opportunities, and then we're saying, oh, marketing doesn't work. Marketing may not be working because you're just relying on one type of tactic. And that's why I'm telling you, a lot of you, before the end of the year, need to make sure you have looked at your marketing to be honest with yourself. Does your marketing need work? Because if your marketing needs work and you don't do anything about it, you've only got yourself to blame if sales aren't coming in. Social selling on social media is not just about churning out content. There's a whole load of things you got to do to qualify customers before you can sell to them. Yeah? Let me know if any of you are actually registering what I'm saying here. There's a whole process that some of you are missing out, and you're expecting conversions to come in. Even down to the language we use can be confusing to people. And a lot of us are also selling loads of things at once. We want to give them the group. We want to give them the trip. We want to give them the excursion. We want to give them the opportunity to speak to us. The opportunity. There's just too much going on. People get confused. Consumers get confused when you're trying to give them too much stuff. And I'm talking from experience here. So when you focus on one thing, this is why I bring out my 30-day programs. And this is why my clients that work with me for 30 days, the link is in the bio. Clients that work with me for 30 days see results in those 30 days because we are focused. And the trouble that I see a lot of you in is because a lot of you aren't focused. There's inconsistency. There's confusion around what tactics you should be using. There is a lot of I'll do this now, I'll do that now. Nothing is ordered. There's no structure. Yeah, exactly. Confusion doesn't sell. So I'm calling you today, on you today, if you're watching this, whether you book with me or someone else, I don't care. Let me be real with you, okay? Because I have a number of different things that I do, a number of different income streams. And not to sound arrogant, but I don't try to force horses. Not that any of you are horses, but I don't try to force horses to drink water. Yeah, because what I find is that when people are not ready and they sign up to something, they don't do the work. And I'm talking as someone that's been coaching now for over 7 years. And I'm sure some of you will even agree. How many times have we signed up to do something and not done the work? We've made a wrong decision and just not done the work. I spent more than $3,000 on a book course. And all now, my book that I wanted to do has not come out. Because I wasn't ready at that time. I had too much going on and still have too much going on. So I'm not talking at you here. I'm sharing my experience, yeah? My experience of coaching other people, my experience of being in my own business, and my experience of understanding my audience. So if you know that you haven't sorted out the foundation, if you're pushing out content and you haven't worked out what your branding is, you haven't looked at who your audience are, what triggers them to buy, what is motivating them to invest and spend money in this climate now where everyone's telling you to kind of hold on to your wallet and not spend a penny. If you haven't worked that out, that's half of your problem. So don't give up yet, okay? Do not give up yet. If you want to prepare now for 2023, I will let you know that you can save £10 off of my brand and marketing planner. That is available. You can, I think if you go into my stories, you'll see that information there. The brand and marketing planner will be £29. Okay, for 2023. So if you want to save a tenner on that, for £19, you can pre-order. That is a book of over 350 pages of content. 30 of those pages are me teaching you, workbook sections, questions that you need to answer before you even get to planning for 2023. Because it's so important to me that those of you that are being misled into thinking you can just dive into selling a course without really understanding who your audience are. For those of you that are thinking that you can just dive into writing a book and then you write that book and you don't even know how to market it. It's important to me that you get quality teaching and understanding of what you're doing. I've been doing this for 26 years. I never even thought I'd ever say that because I feel old saying that, but that's my reality. I've been doing this for 26 years. Next year, January, will be 27. And my first 16 years of doing this was working for employers who paid me to do their marketing. So when I'm speaking to you about branding and marketing, no shade to anyone else that's self-taught, but I'm talking to you as a graduate, a postgraduate, someone who has actually done campaigns for companies and done that for my salary. I'm not teaching you stuff that I've seen on YouTube that I'm regurgitating as my own. I'm not teaching you stuff that I've worked out through building my own business. I'm teaching you stuff that I know you need as foundation, because that's what the bigger companies are doing. So that's what you need to be doing. Before you give up, you need to make sure you are tuned in and plugged into the right experts that are giving you the information. And if you even get an inkling that someone's chatting wallop to you, then move direction, change who you're listening to. Follow different people, because you need to make sure that before you give up, you're doing all the things you need to be doing to get the right results. Yeah? You can't just get into a car and sit behind the wheel and expect to pass your test. You got to put in the work. You got to practice. You got to do the maneuvers. You got to listen to your instructor. You got to figure out the pedals. You got to navigate the gear stick. And it's no different when you're navigating business. You can't just set up a logo and put your business on Companies House or register your LLC and expect to be running your business. You got to do the work. So I'm going to leave it there because I feel like I'm going into a bit of a sermon. But for those of you who want to learn and understand how to build your brand properly and how to do your marketing properly, for those of you that are watching this who do feel stuck, who haven't yet got the results, who want to sell but can't actually sell, you know what you need to do if you want to work with me, because the link's in the bio. But if you are watching this and you are stuck for cash, just think about how much more free stuff you can do before 2023 arrives. Because a lot of you are consuming plenty free. You're listening to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different gurus, all telling you their own biased way of doing marketing. And that's the difference between me and a lot of those people. I don't have bias. I will tell you what I know you need and what works, even if it means I'm talking myself out of money. Okay, so think about where you are, make it work in a logical way. If you're trying to promote your business and you don't even have an understanding of your audience, and all the people that you're attracting are trying to tell you that your prices are too expensive, or they're always telling you that they can't afford it, there's a problem there. It's either your messaging or your pricing or who you're targeting. I could give you so many examples of situations where people say, oh, it's not selling, or I'm spending lots of time. There's lots of ways around all of that, but you've got to understand how to navigate it. Okay, so I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching. And actually, before I go, let me know if you've got any questions. I'm just going to check an email that I sent this morning. If you have any questions, let me know. If you do want to pre-order the planner, then I'm going to put the link in, or try to, because this phone that I've got, would you believe I got a brand new iPhone, the latest version of iPhone, 3 camera and all that, upstairs in my bedroom, and I brought my broken iPhone with me on holiday because I didn't have the case for my new one. I didn't want to bring it on holiday and break it, so I haven't even started using it yet, and I'm still using the broken one. So yeah, I'm going to put in a link here. Save yourself £10 now if you want to be ready for next year. Don't tell yourself you can't afford £19, because can you not afford to afford £19 if you're not currently planning? Let's make it make sense. Yeah, it's the link in the chat there, and as I said, if you it's pinned for you right there. And if you, hey, how you doing, Jenny? If you're watching and you know you do need help, my 30-day program is £97, and we're going to do some pre-work, and then we're going to get started with a focus session where everybody is focused together. We are setting your goals from the beginning of the 30-day program. We're not going to be waffling around and trying to, you're going to work with me from 30 days and I'm going to know your goals from day one, and you are going to put the work in. Someone says V is not just talking, she does the work. Yeah, and right now you just seen there one of my clients who are abroad who works with me, and we still talk on and off as well. And one of the biggest wins, if I remember rightly, from my client that's on now, you can see her in the comments, is that she was able to generate, I think it was £5,000 or £12,000 in 30 days from bookings, from doing a 30-day challenge with me as a member of my community. So I'm sharing this to say that if you are watching this, and I've got a number of case studies, everything I do is evidenced, because I'm really about analytics and data and making sure that people are clear. The amount of time you need, great question. So each week I will go live once, and it will be on a Tuesday evening, and I'm going to try and do it around outside bedtime time. I'm also going to be going live with the group as well, doing Q&As. There'll be a hot seat opportunity as well every week for someone to come in and ask questions. Plus, there'll be daily prompts. So I would say if you want to do well with the program, you need up to 2 hours a week. If you want to do exceedingly well, I would say 40 minutes a day. But I reckon you could get by about 2 hours a week, definitely. But I want to say to people, even if you don't invest in something I'm doing, As the year wraps up, you are going to see so many courses coming up and people shining dangly objects in front of you. You're even going to see free courses that you can join. But I want to say to you, do your checks, because a lot of these things consume your time and you do not get back time. So make sure that you are clear on what you want to learn, and make sure the courses that you're signing up for clearly identify what you are trying to learn in their course modules or in their course delivery. Yeah, be clear, because a lot of you are signing up because something's free and then you do it and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, or I didn't get anything out of that 14-day challenge. Why did you sign up to it then? So someone says, I'm a founder and this is so positive and powerful. You're so welcome. I hope you find it helpful, because the thing is, I'm going to finish now. Too many of us are giving up. Too many of us are saying, I can't do this. Marketing is hard. My clients are not buying. I don't stay consistent. But it's because you don't have routine. It's because you don't have someone holding you accountable. It's because you don't have someone checking you in your corner to say, like, come on, that's not good enough. I won't like that, because it literally is a punch in your throat that I give you. No, just joking. But you have to have someone there for some of you, and that's why it's not happening. So think about what I'm saying, and whether you choose to do your research on me or someone else. If you know you need the help, we are now in September, ladies and gents. Do something now. Some of you are quibbling over £97, and actually, I could tell you, if you look at the testimonials on my YouTube, you will see how many of my clients say £97 is nothing when you work with V Roberts. You get your money back. If you do the work and listen to me, you get your money back. Yeah? And I've got loads of testimonials that say that. Even written ones now on my Instagram that will share with you that people have invested their money in me and they've got back. I've got a client who invested money. I think she invested her last £47 with me on a different program. And when she invested the £47, do you know that she made £10,000 under my direction as her coach? And again, that's in my Instagram feed. You can see it in there. £10,000 she made in 2 weeks. Are you listening? So when I'm talking about doing your checks and understanding what you need to do and understanding how you can grow your business and not giving up, I'm actually talking about making sure that you are aligned and working with the right people. Stop listening to 25,000 gurus. They are all going to give you biased information. If all they know about is funnels, that's all they're going to sell to you. If all they know about is branding, that's all they're going to sell to you. If all they know about is Facebook ads, that's what they're going to tell you need to focus on. If all they know about, all they want to sell at the moment is book courses, that's all they're going to focus on. You see, when you work with me, I'm going to be honest with you. We are working on making sure your foundation is set up properly. Because the foundation, without it, there's no point you doing a course or a book. There's no point you doing Facebook ads. So let's make sure the foundation is right. Someone says, I did some of those free courses and had to drop out. I felt totally lost as they were selling their products and not training. Yeah, and I've had a number of people that have gone off to different coaches and also consultants and different communities. Because obviously sometimes you outgrow communities or you want to try something different. And I encourage that. And they've come back to me and said, V, nah, they couldn't touch what you were delivering. So just think through. If you're watching this now and you know that you need to improve what you're doing, think through what you're doing. Yeah? And actually make a plan for yourself. If that plan looks like a new course, buying a book, speaking to someone, getting advice, maybe even getting the guts to ask a question, then do that today. Do it. Because time is not waiting on you. And if you're going to do the same thing that you're doing now and roll yourself into 2023 expecting a miracle in January, you're slightly mistaken. Yeah? I think a lot of us know of people, or maybe even those people ourselves, where we've hoped for something to come through and it hasn't come through. Don't be that person, man. Don't give up. Okay? Put in the work. Spend if you need to spend. And sometimes, even if you don't have it, you might need to spend, because sometimes you've got to accumulate. What's that saying? Someone will know it in the chat, in the comments. But you've got to spend to accumulate. Yeah? So think about this video. And if you need to speak to me or reach out, for those of you that have mentioned, and I see some DMs coming as well, then do message me. We start the 30-day program next week. We have some pre-work that we're going to be doing, and then we kick off with the big focus session on the 9th of September. And I'm not here to play. If you know that you're ready to level up in your business, Stop listening to 50 plus people and doing all these free webinars and stuff, and actually invest, and let's do the work. Okay, let's give you the start you need for Q4 so that you can have an amazing finish for 2022. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.